Welcome to 3 Season a Pod, episode 9 plus 10. What's 9 plus 10?
21.
I had to do it. I'm sorry. I know it's stupid. But episode 21. Hey, guys, the Celtics are moving on to round 2. Something the Milwaukee Bucks can't say, hey? It's a successful season so far, right?
So far.
So far. So we're gonna do a little bit of a recap of this series. Some pros, cons, and improvements. I don't want to talk about Game 5 too much, if at all. All I do want to say, okay, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I do want to say this about Game 5 against the Hawks. JB was not playing bad defense. I'm gonna take Trae Young taking a step back 35-footer 100 out of 100 times to end the game.
It's a fact. I mean, I think it's 50-50 because I agree.
Yeah, I can see.
I agree with the like he wasn't like playing bad defense, but he also wasn't playing like great defense.
He wasn't
for that situation.
He wasn't all up on him, but I could also see a scenario where you don't want to risk fouling on a 3-point shot and giving the ref that opportunity. So like,
I think
you know what I mean.
The PG one is like more egregious in terms of.
Yeah,
like
like
PG
the Dame
one.
The Dame one?
Yeah, because when he was like, that was a bad shot type shit.
It was funny because it was a 40
Dame was like, yo, that was a bad shot.
It was a bad shot. It was.
It was a bad shot, right? So it just reminded me of kind of that situation, but I feel like PG was way more like back compared to like JB. Because JB still had like a contest. It was like an open shot for Trae Young. But yeah, I do think like obviously it didn't feel like he was like, oh, there's only 5 seconds left on the clock type shit. It just felt like, okay, he has time to bring it down, and he was giving him that space a little bit.
And that's the thing, right? If
I'm split on it. It wasn't horrible.
He's coming full speed. If JB's all up on him, Trey's fast enough to get by JB. So
Exactly.
For me, like I said, was he elite defensively there? No, but if Trae Young is taking a step back 35-footer, I live with the results.
Yeah, for sure. That was a big shot, anyways, man.
Yeah, that was a big shot.
Actually, for that, I kind of knew he was gonna take that, bro, because he made 2 straight threes already.
Listen,
just feeling it, bro.
Listen, so not only was I expecting him to take that shot, I actually fully expected him to make the shot because that's just how that shit goes for us, bro.
I mean, Trey, he's like that though. Like he's made for that. Like I talk my shit about Trey, but he steps up when he needs to.
No, he does. Also, I want to say this too. Me and Nathan were talking about this before you got on, Kyle. Dude, what the fuck? Where is this narrative? Who made up this narrative that Celtics fans hate Trae Young? We don't hate Trae Young. Who the fuck is saying this shit? And it's also annoying.
We hate everyone, apparently.
And I was telling Nathan, I was like, yo, who the fuck thought it was a great idea to chant "fuck Trae Young" at the Garden during Game 5? Did we not see how that ended for Knicks fans? Like,
I think that chant is funny though.
It was funny, but it's so weird, bro. Like we usually save those chants for people like Kyrie. Like, what the fuck did Trae Young do to us? Like,
that's a fact. Yeah, he didn't win the playoff series.
I'm saying, and he didn't beat us. So, well, he beat us that game. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so we'll recap the series in a nutshell with pros, cons. All right, so I did state this to the guys before we got on camera. But my pro and my con are basically the same thing. Mm-hmm. The defense. So, all right, here's the thing. The pro is that the defense is it shows up sometimes.
Yep.
The pro is that we're capable of playing elite defense. We saw it in games 1 and 2, and we saw it for like the final 3 minutes of Game 6. Mm. The con is, holy fuck, can we fucking do this all game? Can we consistently play defense? And I think look, all right. I don't know. People have different definitions of what Missoula ball is. Is it chucking up threes? Is it playing with pace? I think it's playing with pace, personally. And I'm fine with, hanging our hats on our offense because we're talented enough to do so. But I'm more leaning towards please hang your hat on the defensive end. Because when the offense goes stagnant and you can't stop the other team, you get what we saw in Game 3 where we got basically blown out until like the last 7 minutes of the game when we made a slight comeback. But if you hang your hat on defense, your defense can carry you through those rough stretches no matter what. And our offense, our players on offense are talented enough to like figure out a way to get buckets. But the term is there for a reason, man. Defense wins championships. And
No, 100%.
I think that's a pro and a con because we're capable, and that's a pro. It's a con because we don't fucking do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I kind of did just like playing to the level of the team, which is like the pro and the con for me. And I that ties into like defense as well. I think the whole offensive thing, and I mean, I'm still kind of banking on it, but I'm hoping that it's not the truth, where it's just like the defense is tiring. At least playing like defense the way that they were playing, and that we know that they can like play. So like for them to not go that crazy against the Hawks, like
That's
all
fair.
the time defensively, is like I could see it. I don't like it obviously because I want them to do this like from the beginning of the playoffs. And I mean that's why I'm like maybe it looked like that a bit more in like the first two games because obviously they're they're hyped up to play the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. But it didn't it definitely didn't feel like a super like tight playoff series regardless if they won two games or whatever like that.
Agreed.
It just felt like we were trying to even in the last game, honestly, before we like really turned it up, it just feel like they were coasting, bro. Like coasting a little bit, and then that last few minutes, they were like, "All right, like let's play for real, and let's close it out." So I still haven't seen that again, and like that, like I said, I don't know if that ever is gonna come back, and that was like a product of the whole like Ime thing, and being on everyone's asses, and just the right timing of everything because everyone was super locked in last year, like for all 48 minutes type shit. It was crazy. So
that was otherworldly.
Yeah, no, it was insane. So yeah, that's why the Philly series like interests me a lot because we obviously always look forward to this matchup. This is probably the best Philly team that they've had since like the Jimmy Butler iteration. And even if like they're not 100%, they still have like the names of Joel Embiid, James Harden, and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure those guys will take it seriously, at least more than the Hawks series. So I'm interested to see how much they're gonna like put that defensive effort right away and for how long too. Because even like we showed that against the Nets obviously last year, like 4-0. And then I would say the Bucks we also did, but then that was just like a gritty ass like series. But even like against the Heat, it was very reminiscent of like when we got up, we kind of like coasted a little bit. And that like bit us in the ass type shit. So I could see that happening again with the Sixers if we do like come out strong and like we're on our shit basically. Where later down the line we end up like extending the series, which is obviously stuff that I don't like as well. But yeah, that is in a similar sense my pro and my con too. Just playing to the level of the teams so far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's pretty much what I had too. But like, I was reading stuff saying like, Celtics defense might be a red flag. So I mean, obviously, we've shown like, yeah, we were definitely capable of playing championship level defense. And then there's times where it's like, bro, like, the hell are we? Like, are we just going out there like for cardio? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I feel like playing down to the level of the competition is kind of it. Like, yeah, we're like, oh, we just coast through the Hawks. Like, they're nothing. They've been a mediocre team all year. Like, they won't really like turn up in the playoffs. But I mean, again, like I go back when we had that conversation about who did we not want to play in the playoffs, if anything. And I think I said the Hawks.
Yeah.
For the sole reason, like Trae Young, bro, like he gets hot, he's capable of winning like the Hawks series. And obviously I said season 5 or 4 sweep, but I ended up going to 6. So kind of could see the defense was like one of the main problems. But I think just kind of like overall, like we just stamp it. Like I think again, Mazzulla is kind of his first playoff series. He's kind of like going through the ropes, learning, seeing okay what works and what doesn't. I think defensively, our mishaps were there, but I think that with this Philly series coming up, I think we're gonna really hone down, like, and we're just gonna just lock up when we need to, because we know who we got, the Harden and Embiid. So I think with the primary focus of trying to stop them and then taking away what they want to run, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, and I think Kyle kind of alluded to this in our group chat, where it's like this is like low key a wake up call, even. Because like we tend like I don't care what anybody says, right? We tend to play down to our competition. Like it's just a fucking bad habit. We're not the only team that does it. The Celtics are not the only team that makes mistakes, by the way. But
I mean, as we can tell,
right? But like, and like I said, Kyle alluded to this, where it's like, you know what? Maybe it is a baby wake up call, and maybe this is exactly what we needed in round one. You know, sometimes like you think the team locks in, we win the first two games pretty convincingly, and then game three comes, and and even the players admitted to it. They're like, yeah, we kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
We came into game three pretty relaxed. The motherfuckers were playing like ping pong in the practice facility or whatever the fuck it was, right? So like they were obviously just chilling, and then the Hawks came out and they were not chilling. They was like, we're at home, we got to protect home court, and they came up pretty serious. And
sent the message.
I'm hoping like I agree where defense is tiring, but at the very least we need them to be fully engaged. You know, for 48 minutes.
No, for sure.
You know, and the Sixers, I don't think you can really fuck around with the Sixers like you fucked around with the Hawks because they're a much more talented team. Whether or not we want to believe it, I don't think they're better coached after the Quinn Snyder thing, but like, but you know, but it's still a thing. Doc has his huge issues, but I don't think he's like the worst coach in the world.
Yeah,
but,
I don't think he's like, he's not gonna win them a fucking series.
He's not gonna be the difference in the series though. But,
no.
But anyway, I'll go on to predictions here. You might be surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do MVP of the Hawks series first.
Okay.
I got Jaylen Brown. I got JB.
I love it.
I was torn between JB and Derek White. But they were both, in my opinion, pretty consistent.
They both were.
I think JB had obviously his star level performances, so that bumps it up. But I think just D White being, you know, as consistent as he's always been was super great. And obviously like the first two games he was looking insane, but even then like his spot up three and all that kind of stuff has been good. But yeah, that pull up three was going crazy. No,
I respect it. I respect it. I was torn between 2-3 guys.
Yeah, we get pull up D White. That's a different team, bro.
I never hate the guy.
Yeah, me, man. I got Marcus, bro. I'm saying, dog. Like, bro. Like, playoff Marcus is different, man. Like, I think he loves to show up. Man, I mean, he didn't have like the greatest, like, you know, in the losses he didn't obviously play the greatest, but in the wins, bro, he honestly made an impact like crazy. Like, he had three steals first two games. You know, he defensively, obviously, he got a fucking handful with Trae Young's and Murray. So, and when he had to step up, he did, bro. Like 5 threes in game 3 or whatever it was. You know, I think a lot of people like kind of overlook that, even though, you know, some of the shots that he takes is freaking questionable at times. But I think when it matters the most, man, Marcus, we need to win a game and we need to like come out. He kind of like sets the tone for us.
I want to address that one real quick. The questionable shots thing. I get it. Marcus does do that sometimes, but a lot of the times when people like question it, he's fucking wide open. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I want our players to shoot it when they're wide open. I don't give a fuck if they miss. If D White is open, I want him to shoot it.
I think sometimes it's just the timing of it.
It is. The timing is questionable though. That's
because sometimes it's like you can tell when like he's trying to. Yeah. But that's why like Marcus Smart is so polarizing. Because like he has so much great, and then he has so much like down, and it's like you got to live with it because obviously the good and the great will like win you game or win you series, to be honest. And then the bad will probably just lose you some games that are like frustrating within a playoff series.
For sure.
And yeah, I mean that's why I'm like I can't hate on it, bro. Like it's clearly a huge swing factor. Like yes, I would like it to be consistently the positive.
Of course,
but he is who he is, and that's fine. Yeah,
exactly. Like you know what you're gonna get from him, but like, hey, all the Marcus Smart haters, bro, fuck you. Like who scored the last 7 points in that game 6? You know, to close them out. So I'm
gonna say this too, right? Like, and I agree. I think you take the good with the bad, man. That's just one of those things. But a lot of times the good outweighs the bad. Like there's a reason we started winning when we drafted him. But I'll say this: if you're a self-proclaimed Celtics fan and you hate Marcus Smart, I don't think you're a Celtics fan.
You gotta go.
I honestly don't think that.
Better go.
Honestly, if you hate, like, there's a few exceptions, but like, come on, bro. Like, if the guy's helping you win games, let's be serious here. Hi, Ming.
I can't believe, bro.
Kyle. You gotta clip that.
I know, right? I'm like, bro,
crazy.
You gotta clip that. But no, for real. Like, anyway, moving on. Those were our MVPs. You know, I respect it. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think everybody on the team played pretty great for their roles, so I respect it. Predictions for the next series. Okay, I got Celtics in 5.
Really?
I got season 5, bro. Season 5,
baby.
Yeah, I got 6.
I can see that.
I see 6.
Honestly, I was teetering.
I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but
not,
I mean,
yeah.
like, 5 is pretty bold. 5 is pretty bold.
I'm going with the bold, baby.
I like that.
I go bold, man. Love it, because you know I feel like it's gonna be an opportunity for us. You know, 5, close it out. I feel like we're gonna get it done this time. I'm not gonna want to go to Philly to try to win Philly. I'm not gonna say we can't do it, obviously. And we're going at home or away. We're willing.
My main thing, and the reason I went with 5, and this is more of like a hope
Joel
than a prediction. Not even just Joel's injury, but I think the players watch other games around the league.
Yeah.
So everybody knows the Bucks got eliminated. So yeah, I think for me it's more of a hope than like a prediction. So like my hope is you see the players they watch the games, so they're like, okay, the Bucks got eliminated. I know you got to respect your opponent, man. But you gotta even as fans, you kind of smell what's brewing here, right?
That's why I was like, they fucking close out Game 5.
Yeah,
like you would have expected them to close out Game 5 against the Hawks.
I would assume so too, but the Hawks came out and punched them in the face. But like I said, it's a hope, and I hope that the Hawks being the wake up call is a thing, and then we go into Philly, and like I said, we always have them bookmarked. We have the Philly games bookmarked every year. So
no, I feel that. I feel like
I'm hoping.
I agree that we will show up. I think the teams are like the Philly team. Like I said, is probably like one of the best iterations that we've seen. So that me giving them, obviously outside of Embiid's injury, because we don't know currently, but if everyone was healthy, and barring injury, I'm assuming that this would warrant them at least 2 games. I think it'll just still be competitive. And I think see, as much as that's a hope that we smell the blood in the water type shit to the finals, I also feel like we're looking ahead. That we're gonna be, or I could see the team being like this is our finals run, and not focusing on the series right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that I feel like falls way more in line with how the fucking Celtics team thinks. That's a fact. It's annoying as shit. So that is why I'm like, low key, this shit could even be extended to 7. And I don't want that to happen, but but it could. I'm hoping that just so it's a normal ass series, and with the Sixers being as good as they are, they get 2 games out of it, because there are going to be Embiid games, and I'm assuming that Harden will show up for at least 1 or 2 of them as well. That like I said, that's barring injury and all that stuff. And I mean, like, even the Bucks said it, like they were looking towards the finals too, and they had obviously dropped the ball against Miami, and I think it was a mixture of like bad Bucks as well, and Giannis being hurt, and it was just a whole like bunch of things, and obviously like Bud lost his brother. So I was like,
I saw that come out after.
Yeah, I was like, that kind of that puts things into perspective, because I'm like, yo, he looked like he was not there game.
He didn't take a timeout in the end of game 5.
Yeah, and I'm like, that makes sense, because he literally wasn't there, bro. Like there's no way you're locked in, because hearing, I think it was after game 4, so I'm like, it was literally game 5 that he was like, it's hard to just lock in after something like that. So that's completely understandable. 100%. I don't know where they go forward with that, but I think. I'm still going to 6, and I could see it extending, man. These Celtics, man, they got me fucking traumatized.
Realistically, it's 6, but I'm like I said, I'm just hoping we lock in.
Yeah,
I'm hoping I got. Yeah,
if we locked in, I do genuinely think that we should beat the team in 5.
Agreed. Yeah, especially with the injury, specifically with the injury.
Yeah, I got season 5 too, man. I don't know. I mean, that's obviously, I'm more banking towards, obviously, it's kind of like a hope thing, like with Zach, but I made a little side bet with my coworkers, so obviously I need the season 5. I said season 5, and he said The Sixers are at least win 2, so I'm like, nah, man, fuck that. He's gonna win in 5.
What's the bet? What's the bet? What's on the line?
No, we just better for some food, bro.
That's what me and my coworkers used to do.
Yeah,
I got a lot of Chinese. I got a lot of Wasong, baby. I got a lot of Wasong in my days. Motherfuckers betting against the Patriots. I was like, oh, give me some money.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Not for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a big thing.
Season 5 is a dream.
It's a dream. I hope so.
X Factors. Who you got?
Honestly, I had like the same X Factors.
I think for the C's, yeah.
For the C's, it's still Rob.
Same.
Yeah, because I think Al will probably be the primary defender, but it is honestly just how much Rob can not get into foul trouble against Embiid and like still bother him. And then for the Sixers, I still put Tobias because I think he's that like overall player that they're gonna need. Like sometimes they're gonna need him to make his spot up threes. Sometimes they're gonna need him to create a shot out of nowhere. Be able to drive consistently, make good cuts and all that kind of stuff. Because they don't, and obviously defend well because they don't really have any one wing defenders, and like their wing offense is just Tobias for the most part. They have like good spot up shooters, like I said, but I think Tobias is the only one that offers like variance to that like shot diet. He for sure needs to, not saying that he needs to like ball out or whatever, but he just needs to do everything that he was doing in the Nets series. I think he was doing really well for them in the Nets games. So if he was able to play it to that level, then that would be pretty annoying for us to deal with for sure.
I actually updated mine for this series. So like I think for the playoff preview, I had James Harden as my X factor for them, how he plays. But for this specific series, I actually changed mine to Tobias as well. I think it's kind of reminiscent of when you look at the Hawks series. DeAndre Hunter really impressed me in that series. He was making some tough shots.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
He was actually providing some really good offense for them. And I think Tobias needs to be able to do that, and that'll give us more trouble. The Celtics, that is. And yeah, man, I think he's a good player. As much as I hate on him, he's a good player. But I think. Oh my God! Again, the fucking screen, bro. You can see me though when I talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
does this stop the recording?
No, it just flickers. Like recording is still going. I need to fix the screen. I need to get a new screen. Fuck. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So I think Tobias is gonna be like the X factor for me solely because one, he's gonna force the Jays to play defense. If he plays well enough, and then two, he's gonna be the primary defender on one of the Jays. So I think he's the X factor here and how well he plays.
Sure. No, I agree. I had, I thought about Tobias Harris too, because obviously he's gonna have to play a support role, and I feel like we kind of know what to expect from him. But I feel like if he were to have a good game and pick up his level of play, that we're gonna have to obviously pay more attention to him. So that's why I thought about it, but I think I'm gonna stick to mine, Tyrese Maxey, bro. It all depends. I think we should obviously again we know what to expect from Embiid and Harden. So, but if Harden's not playing up to par and he's kind of like either getting locked up or just struggling, Tyrese Maxey's gonna have to step up. Specifically in the guard, play because he's proven in the Nets series like he showed up, closed it. Harden got ejected. They were able to close it out. Hit a big three. So I think as long as he's steady and play that support role too, he's gonna be a big X factor. Not saying that he's gonna win him a game like he did with Brooklyn, but if he is put up decent numbers and playing both sides of the ball, I think he'll probably be the biggest X factor for me.
Yeah.
No, I see that.
Yeah, Maxey for me is like a year or two, like for sure to become that because I just think of X Factor as like consistent. I think Maxey will have those spurts, and that's like what he is right now. But when he gets that consistency, for sure he needs to be that he needs to stay that way. And I mean, yeah, he was great against the Nets. It was dope.
That's the thing about the spurt too. Like if he has a spurt against us, I feel like all that momentum and stuff could kind of sway the Sixers to stay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I'm not surprised if that he was to be one of the people to lead a spurt to help win a game or two or something like that. But like I said, like when I think of just X Factor, I'm just like a little bit more like consistency for the thing, for what they're providing or whatever like that. And I think that'll come like in a year or two, even though Maxi has like improved every single year, very much.
I can see that.
Come with experience. So
yeah, season 5 or 6 basically is what we're saying.
Basically,
we think the Celtics we think the Celtics win the series.
Exactly. No doubt.
All right, let's move on to the next series in the East.
For that Knicks, man.
Knicks Heat. Ooh, the Knicks pack. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. How much does playoff Jimmy have left in the tank after that series?
Not much.
You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think so.
You can only hard carry for so long,
Yeah.
right?
But Jimmy Butler is that fucking guy.
He's that fucking guy, man.
See, and that is why I said we're not trying to verse the Heat, bro.
Agreed.
Like, we all said that.
Yeah, like we're still gonna beat the Heat, but that shit is like extremely like tiring of a series. And like shit, like they beat them in 5, which is insane. Like I said, there was a lot of circumstances and like reasons why they lost it for the Bucks. And I mean, I still think like it was a fumble from their part, regardless. But yeah, it's insane what Jimmy did, bro. Like that was MJ-esque, man. Like
no, he's
honestly, that was probably the best series, like one of the best series. I won't be like too hyperbolic, but literally one of the best series I've ever seen from a player.
Agreed.
And the only other person is literally LeBron.
Like, yeah.
In terms of like doing everything,
literally carrying a team. Yeah.
Only LeBron that I've seen with my eyes has done shit like that. And I'm like,
and I think one of the things that was like just going around is how much shit he was talking to Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
While they were down, he wasn't doing it when they took the lead. He was doing this shit. I think there was like 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, dude, it was like 105, 111 type shit.
Yeah, they were down 8, and he hit a bucket to cut it to 6, and then he was just talking to Drew Holiday like, "I own you." I was like, "Oh shit!" Look
at your stats.
Yo, he was on his shit, bro. Like, and not only to talk shit while you're down, but to back it up, fucking carry your team at the fucking absolute, and just hit the bucket at the side of the game. Like, yo, that was some legendary, iconic shit.
No, man. Actually, though.
He was on
insane.
Yeah, man. Bro. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Y'all saw that, like, what, they're going for they're down 2 in regulation, and then they try to drop a play, and Spo like, Jimmy was just like, nah, just give me the ball.
Yo.
Yeah. I want to be the one. He was on demon time right there.
I love that shit, dude. Like, Jimmy is one of my favorite fucking players to watch, man.
I don't
as long as he's not versing the Celtics.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's one of my favorite to watch. He's crazy.
Yeah, that ass though. But Jimmy's him. But as far as Knicks Heat,
I gotta take the Knicks, man.
Thanks, man.
I think
it's just
we're
like,
rolling with that
and like I said, this is kind of looking ahead. But since my Preds are obviously like we know our Preds, like I'm choosing Knicks and Celtics for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Same.
I do think like it'll be like a little tough in terms of the matchup, because the Hawks showed that their fucking wing depth and front court size is like can give problems to the Celtics.
Yeah.
And I think that is the Knicks. Like the Knicks have that and like much better than what the Hawks have at the moment. They have that size. They are hella aggressive on the boards and stuff like that. And that is our biggest, like, not downfall, but like one of our biggest weaknesses. And like we would see that even like against like the Bucks and all that kind of stuff. Like just size overall. I think the way that the Hawks and the Knicks right now do it is in a much more aggressive way than the Bucks, anyways. But we've seen it even with like the fucking Magic in the regular season. Like that front court size, genuinely gives us problems. And yeah, I think the same thing will like apply to Miami, where Miami is a small team. They're super gritty, but the Knicks are also super gritty, and they also have that front court size. So I think that will be like the swaying factor for why they end up beating Miami regardless. And Jimmy's not going to be able to go. I mean, shit, he could prove us wrong. He could prove me wrong.
Listen, he played against 3 defensive level players.
So like he could totally prove me wrong, and like I don't think he's gonna be God mode for 2 series in a row. Like he could completely do that, and win them it. And if he does, that's dope too. Like I have no problem being wrong if Jimmy continues to play the way he plays.
I think he's gonna continue to do it. I just think it's just not gonna be enough to win a series.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean the Knicks are. Yeah, I prefer them over the Bucks in terms of like being an organized team, and obviously we know the Bud stuff. But I do think Thibodeau has been coaching much better. Regardless,
he's been better with rotations.
Yeah, even with like Bud's previous playoff stuff, like we know he's not the greatest for in-game adjustments and timely like plays and all that kind of stuff. They remain pretty stagnant. And Thibodeau, I feel like he's been able to have those in-game adjustments and even like after losses and or like after like to the next game type stuff.
Right.
Adjustments at least defensively on players. So I do have much more faith in that like coaching matchup rather than it being like Spo is completely out coaching the opposing team's coach.
Right.
I think it'll be more of like a back and forth.
I agree.
So and I think honestly Spo is one of the biggest like swing factors along with me being like insane. Coaching the coaching and like the level of coaching that you have is like super underrated.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yep. But I think, like I said, just the loss of Tyler Herro, I think just overall the fatigue factor and Jimmy just going God mode. And I know it was 5 games, not 6 or 7, but still that takes a toll if you're just carrying the load the whole time. Yeah, I just think the Knicks in 6. I think Jimmy will be able to do that and maybe take a game or two. But I just think Knicks in 6, just because they're so steady. Brunson, man, I'm just gonna continue that guy props. I gotta keep giving that man his props, man, because you gotta give the flowers, not JB, but Brunson. But no, for real, like he's just such a steady factor for them. Like every time
he was the best guard in that series, bro.
He was.
Oh, easily.
Donovan and Garland. He was the best guard easily.
He's literally the epitome of consistency. Right, and I think looking forward a little bit too. Like if we play the Knicks in the conference finals, that'll be a fucking problem for us. Because like as good as our guards are defensively, he's just so steady in getting to his spots and getting the shot he wants.
Yeah,
and he's one of those mid-range killers. So like,
I do think it'll be interesting though because we obviously struggle a bit more with the like explosive guards and stuff like that. And I mean that makes sense though. Because they're just a little bit more explosive for the defensive guards to like get through screens and all that kind of stuff. And I think Brunson being more like technical with his work and like savvy and all that kind of stuff could lead to us being like guarding him a bit better than we would like someone like Trae Young or something.
Right.
But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. And yeah, like I said, I think that front court will be the biggest issue for us for sure. And I mean, shout out to Mitchell Robinson. He was easily the best big in that series as well.
Really well.
With fucking Mobley and Jared Allen on the other side. So props to him and for not getting into like crazy foul trouble all the time too. And yeah, dude was like crashing the offensive boards like crazy.
He's a monster, bro.
Yeah, super underrated center. And I think that's simply because like the rotations weren't, or like he never really like got that spotlight too much in New York, but also he fouls out a lot, so or he just fouls a lot, so he never.
I think he got injured a little bit too.
He did this season for sure. I think he had like an ankle injury or something. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to those two. They did really good.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, I don't think anyone's like Bama will do a good job on Mitchell Robinson, but I don't think it's.
I mean,
they got everyone else like on the front court. Like
you're not gonna hyper focus on Mitchell Robinson with Randall in the front court.
Exactly.
And then Nixon 6, bro.
Yeah, the Heat guards are gonna have to step up, but I don't know if I think any of the Heat guards are gonna step up because if not, then Brunson, IQ, I don't know if Quentin Grimes is like still injured. But even Miles McBride, bro, he was. Like it's crazy how they just have people who can step in and do well, perfectly, and obviously Josh Hart too. But he's like that wing guard combo.
Yeah.
I think Miami's for injuries. Obviously Tyler Hero and then losing Victor Oladipo, bro. Shout out to Vic, bro. This man's been working, trying to get back from injuries. Just can't catch a break. But I think losing obviously them 2 guards, kind of obviously leaving them thin. guard play, and but that's kind of
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe. So I think obviously the depth is going to come into play. Obviously the Knicks are a freaking much deeper team than Miami. Of course, Jimmy Butler's only gonna be running on E sometime this series. So the Knicks. Oh, also on the Knicks side too, Julius. They don't know complete status about Julius yet. I don't know if he's gonna be playing the game one.
I mean, apparently it's not as bad.
Yeah.
They're just being like cautious with it.
Cautious, yeah. This is the same ankle he tweaked in the season.
It might have been the same ankle. I'm not too sure. But I know that they're being cautious with it, and even then, like it's still kind of rough because Julius Randle, I feel like he has to get into like rhythm for him to be like, because he's not like a fucking pure shooter type.
He's not
person, so he's got to get into rhythm. So if he misses a couple games, it might be kind of like rough in terms of shooting splits. But him as a body will be important for the team, obviously.
Yeah, Julius is the literal definition of hot and cold. So it's one or the other.
When he's hot, he's good though. He's great.
when he's hot, he's one of the best in the league.
So
as far as X factors, for the Knicks, I got RJ Barrett. I think the way RJ Barrett plays, like if you saw, I mean, obviously you guys saw, but like speaking to the people listening or watching, if you saw the Knicks series against the Cavs, the first couple games were really competitive, and it was kind of like maybe not game 2 because that was a blowout, but they were relatively competitive. They came down to like defensive prioritization between both teams because they were really low scoring games. But when RJ Barrett stepped up and started playing really well, that's when the Knicks were just like completely convincing. Like,
exactly.
like at no point in those games did I think the Cavs had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Between games, 3, 4, 5. Like I just honestly just watching those games, I was like, nah. there's like a clear better team here right now.
No, yeah, for sure.
And I think if RJ Barrett continues to play, maybe not to that level where you're shooting 80% from the field, I don't think that's gonna happen. But if he contributes in the form of like a second, third-ish type option, then I don't think Jimmy's not gonna be able to overcome that. So, it might be sooner than 6 if he can play like that. If we're being honest.
The Maple Mamba, bro. I'm telling you. X Factor's gonna last, bro.
Who the fuck called him the Maple Mamba?
I got it from Joshua, bro. Right?
Oh God. Yo, tell him to never make a nickname ever again.
It's not. He didn't make it up. This is what the Knicks fans just gave him because he's from Canada and shit.
That's too funny.
I don't know, but yeah, RJ show. I think he probably be my pick too because like I said, for last series and this series, I think he a good third option for Brunson and Randall. Just being able to play off them because obviously, like, even if they run in the half court sets through Brunson and Randall, I think being on the floor and kind of like, okay, I create a shot and drive into the rim, just being aggressive. Like he even displayed in that Cavs series, like when the defense started to focus on him a little more, when he was starting to like catch his rhythm and stuff, like they were trying to stop him, and he was finding like Josh Hart open. He was finding making the right read. So it's obviously going to be like if he could keep that level of play, it's definitely going to be like a problem for Miami because again, their guard play defense is going to be a problem because Jimmy Butler's not going to be able to guard everybody, and if RJ is just doing what he does, bro, like they're gonna have to worry about him. I don't think they got 3 people to worry about, and like once they do that, it's going to open up the whole floor for the whole team, and I think that team just runs on like a collective group. Like however one goes and stuff, they're all gonna just follow the lead.
Yeah, I have Randall as my X factor, simply because of the injury, and I don't think they win this series if they don't have relative production to what Jimmy's gonna be putting out. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna. I'm not equating for him to go like God mode the whole series, but he's still going to be very good in this series
for sure.
And I don't think anyone else besides the duo of like Brunson and Randall would be able to like match that, I guess. So that it's in my opinion pretty like heavily predicated on if Randall is consistent and like good, because I feel like if he is not consistent to who he was like to end the season or just this regular season in general, they have less of a chance of winning against Miami because of the factors of like they have a very good coach. We know Jimmy Butler's going to be good. And then obviously they have Bam, who is like he is up and down as well, but he's still like probably the second or third best player in the series. So having those factors, I think Randall for sure has to be that guy because, like I said, I think RJ will be the third, but I don't think RJ can step up to the production of what Randall has been doing for them in the regular season if Randall's out. So I can see where you guys are saying, yeah, like RJ needs to.
I'm thinking of more like a complimentary thing. As far
for sure. I get that. I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, he'll probably have to rise up if Randall isn't playing well, and I don't think that I don't have as much faith in him doing that. But yeah, him playing consistent overall will probably be like a big deal. But I think the question mark on Randall's injury and like his play so far will be probably like the biggest thing.
I agree.
No, that's for sure, and that kind of leads me into the Miami X factor, and I think it's Bam. Bam needs to be. I think Bam needs to be like an all-star caliber player.
Bam needs to be fucking game 5. Fucking Bam.
Yo,
yeah. One triple-double, great defense on.
I mean, unfortunately, he fouled out. But other than that, like that obviously helped keep them in the game because Jimmy can only do so much himself, right? He can't score 100 points. But I think if Miami's gonna have a shot in hell in this series, someone needs to step up and become secondary to Jimmy and produce consistently. And I think that needs to be Bam and not Kyle Lowry. You can't depend on, I get what
you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. I'm not saying you guys are saying Kyle Lowry, but I'm just saying like it almost seems like he's kind of deferring to Kyle Lowry to be the second option. When in reality, like, bro, Bam, you're the second best player on that team. You need to step up and kind of let the offense flow through you in spurts because Jimmy can't just go ISO all game.
And I did like how Spo was doing that. Well, not like leading the offense through him, but they were letting him handle the ball towards the end of the fourth, so that they could do the action with Jimmy and get like Brooke out of position and all that kind of stuff. And obviously that's how he racked up those last few assists.
That's what.
But he was making good ass reads, bro. And I'm like, yo, this is it, man. Like, Bam, you gotta like do this all the time.
That's really what sparked the comeback, and that was when they started kind of like playing that offense a little bit through Bam. And obviously Jimmy, like you can't ignore Jimmy, but like Bam is the X factor here for me, and I just think
agree.
If he could step up in that way, if he could step up in that way, that's what's gonna give Miami a shot because we know what Jimmy's gonna bring. Okay.
Exactly.
Also, Bam, Al Horford replacement next year. Grant Williams gonna look good in a Miami Heat uniform.
Facts, man. That's facts.
All
right, let's move on to the West. The West, ooh, Nuggets Suns. I'm looking forward to this one. This one's gonna be.
I know we have differing picks.
I know we have differing picks,
which is dope. Right? I like that.
But I honestly like I said, I can't just disregard the other pick either, right? Like I think this is just talent wise. I know I'm questioning the way the Suns have been playing, and that's valid. I think that's still valid here.
Sure.
And they can't play like that against the Nuggets. You get an injured Clippers team. I would hope you would win that series. But just on paper, talent wise, just top heavy. Obviously, KD, Book,
CP3,
Ayton. Like those guys on paper are just gonna look really good. I have the Suns here in 7. I think the series goes 6 or 7. If it goes 6, I don't think the Suns are winning in 6. So I have to go 7 because it has to go 7. Yeah, man. I think KD and Book have been consistently really good. Book has been great this playoffs. He's the best in the playoffs right now. He's looked the best in the playoffs right now, man. Just consistently.
Outside of Jimmy,
yeah.
Book.
Like out west, he's been the best in the West.
Oh yeah,
by far. And that's with KD on the team, and KD hasn't really turned up yet. So I think in order for Phoenix to win, I think that's gonna happen. And I can't really build a case against either team because the Nuggets have been so fucking great in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm still going Nuggets. I might go Nuggets in 6 to be honest.
See, that's what I mean. Like, if it goes 6 games, I think the Nuggets win.
Yeah, I think I'm going Nuggets in 6, and I just think not that they have like crazy depth or anything like that, but they just have good pieces overall. Like at least their 1 to like 8 ish is like good in terms of offensive flow. Like yes, there's a huge drop off obviously when Jokic is off, but they're not going to be playing Jokic off a lot.
Nah, Jokic is going to play 45 minutes a game.
Yeah, like the offense for the Suns will be very good, obviously. But I do think that they can make it annoying for them because of their wing like lineup. Like they just have, like I said before, linky perimeter guards and wings. So while they will probably give up a lot of like good looks to KD and D Book and even CP, I think there will be like some wear and tear because of the defense and the number of bodies that they're putting out. I don't think it'll be anything like what we did to KD, but I do think that it'll be kind of reminiscent of that. At least that's what I envision if they have like that kind of defensive plan on KD. Getting up to his body right away, not letting him get his dribbles off and stuff like that, and using just more like strength to like fucking mess with his shots and all that. Because I do think they have, like I said, people to do that. Like the Bruce Browns and KCPs and all that kind of stuff. Well, they'll just be annoying to him. And then on the offensive end, it's kind of the same way back where I don't think they have anyone to defend anything that they're doing. I do think, like I've said before, DeAndre Ayton is probably one of the better defensive assignments defensive assignments on Jokic, which is weird because we don't look at him as a defensive player. But if he's locked in, just his physical tools are like a bother for Jokic. And I could see that happening. I don't know. I haven't watched too many of the Suns Clippers games, but because they were like a snooze fest after the 2 injuries.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't know how much Ayton has been like locked in. Because during that championship run that they were on, like he was hella locked in, and obviously like on the defensive end, he was very active. So if he is, which I don't think he is at the moment on that level right now, but if he were to get back to that level, I could see him, giving some struggles to Jokic, and that probably would be the key. Which I mean, shit, Loki goes into my X factor.
Same.
But yeah, no one's really stopping Jamal Murray on the perimeter. No one's really bodying Aaron Gordon. I think KD will do a good job overall because he's underrated on defense, but no one's really bodying Aaron Gordon. MPJ is gonna get his fucking open spot up threes, and he making them bitches. He is great, man, and he's been doing a lot better off or on the ball, like putting the ball down. So that has been super interesting to see because, like I've been saying, with the whole like back shit, he's only been like relegated to being a like a spot up 3-point shooter. So even in the Wolves series, he was putting the ball down a little bit and creating some stuff, and I was like, it's nice to see. Honestly, I think he helped like save them like game 3 or some shit like that, 3 or 4 or something like that. So, but I do think overall like the Nuggets they were looking good, but they were also like 3 or 4 of the games were like close to the Timberwolves, that could be like attributed to how good the Timberwolves are like on paper and matched up and all that kind of stuff. And, they were kind of like figuring it out towards the play-in. But it also could just be that the Nuggets aren't like super convincing. At least on the defensive end, because we know that like, bro, they were scoring like crazy on the Nuggets.
To be fair, Ant went God mode.
No, exactly.
3 games,
that's what I'm saying. But shit, they got KD in Book. So
yeah, exactly. That's the only reason why I'm like still teetering on the Suns. And plus, I picked the Suns to come out the West. I'm gonna stick to that. So, like, same. But no, like, I could obviously see like both ends of this, where just the Nuggets are just so steady, just top to bottom, and it all revolves around Jokic. So, man, I honestly believe either team could win this series.
No, for sure. But for me, same shit, man. But I picked 6 Suns in 6. Like the way I saw it was like Denver has the edge. From depth wise and like top to bottom, I think I couldn't overlook fucking Phoenix's talent, bro. Like the top, like KD and Book already. You see those big names, like compared it to just like Jokic and Murray. It's like you don't pick, you know what I mean? But that's not obviously what I went like about. But the Suns, they have the question marks about how the offense is running. I think they're still trying to figure it out with booking KD, but we were talking about it in the group chat, bro. When you need a bucket, I think having Devin Booker and KD on the team, I think those guys are capable, more than capable of
for sure
doing that. So, and I think when it comes down to the Nuggets, is like, yeah, they have defenders to guard Booker and KD, but I think as long as they are open to like not just focusing on scoring, but kind of like moving the ball, kind of like open up the game for the rest of everybody else. Like Torrey Craig and Josh Okogie haven't been like nobodies. They've been contributing, like, obviously against to the team. So, and they got Landry Chambers still, like a shooter. So, I think if they could, bring that out and just play that and kind of play how Denver plays, they sure have a real shot. Yeah. Denver, bro. If they're locked in, like I can see the world where like they just easily handle the Suns in 6-2.
Yeah.
So that's why I mean it goes either way.
Yeah, that's why I think it'll be the Suns next year, to be honest. Like their time next year, because I don't think they can magically put all that stuff together. They could though, and I think like, well, in my opinion, I don't think they can put that together. But what I do think they can put together is just like just getting buckets, like because right now it hasn't looked like they are like flowing as a team in terms of the way that you were explaining. And, getting everyone involved, ball movement, all that kind of stuff. It's literally just like CP will get someone into their spot sometimes, and then other than that, it's Booker ISO, and maybe a play for him, and then KD ISO, and that could be enough. And that's why I'm not knocking that. And in terms of like their talent, that could be enough to get them past the Nuggets and even into the finals. But I do think that they'll need that like year's worth of, or like a year or like a off season worth of meshing and like creating a system and plays and all that stuff before they can get to that point of like, oh yeah, even Torrey Craig and shit can like contribute because we're getting them open looks and like we know where they're going to be and where they should be and all that kind of stuff. I just don't think they've had enough time to do that with KD being injured since like since the trade deadline, and then ever since he came back, it's kind of just been like almost into the playoffs anyways. So yeah, like I said, I think if they win, it's just purely off of them like going crazy and scoring off ISO, which they totally can do. But in terms of like the team quality, like I just don't think that they have that like system yet. Not yet.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm banking on.
yeah, exactly. It's not bad to bank on
it. Sure. I don't think it's a bad thing to bank on KD and Devin Booker. But like I said, I honestly see validity on both ends. Where just like the Nuggets is just a more like cohesive unit at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm still questioning the Suns a bit, but I'm riding with it, baby. I'm going with it.
Okay.
As far as X factors, I think Kyle already alluded to this. For the Suns, it's definitely Ayton. Like one defensively on Jokic, don't get into foul trouble, and can he limit how Jokic controls the game from the paint? And obviously, too, I think you still need a third scorer, and I think the Suns could benefit from Ayton being their third scorer.
Yeah, CP's looking more and more cooked, man.
Yeah, like you can't CP. Sad. Trying to play like he's 26 again. It's just not gonna cut it.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Ayton's the X factor here. I think we all agree. And then for the Nuggets, I actually have MPJ.
Same.
Yes. I think the way MPJ plays in the series, if MPJ plays like the same way he did against the Wolves, where he's just stepped up and just consistently hitting shots like that and playing defense, it might be Nuggets in 6. But we'll see.
I have faith in Jokic and Murray at this point.
I do.
And Murray like stepping up again. It's like, okay, he's also just a playoff riser at this point.
Exactly.
So I think he is who he is, and if MPJ, like you're saying, if MPJ basically plays the way it was kind of mixed for me, like probably 60-40, where like 60 MPJ and then 40 Aaron Gordon. Because I do think Aaron Gordon will be like big, but I think it's easier to replicate what Aaron Gordon does rather than what MPJ does, because MPJ is purely off of like shot making. Aaron Gordon, he actually has like a lot of chemistry with Jokic. So like gritty defense, the cuts, the reads and all that kind of stuff, I think that'll be replicable for Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I'm riding with Suns in 7.
Yeah.
And I think you guys, I think Nathan said 6, right? Suns in 6.
Yeah.
And then
Suns
Kyle,
in
you
6.
had Denver in 6.
I got Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I respect it, man. And then finally,
it'll be fun to throw the Suns though. I'll say that.
Dude, it'll be so. I just want a good series at the end of the day. So, as far as so I think I put it this way: the Warriors and Kings are going 7.
Yep.
The Lakers just flat out dominated the fucking Grizzlies. And
my Lakers pick, bro. My Lakers pick.
Mr. Dylan Brooks here, waking up the beast.
Manhandle fucking Grizzlies, dude.
So the Lakers are waiting in the wings. So Warriors Kings. Okay, I know I said this in the preview on the other episode that if the series goes 7, that the Warriors would win. But I don't give a fuck. I'm picking the Kings. I'm picking the Kings.
The Warriors fucking suck. Oh wait, all right.
Light the beam,
I know they
baby.
already won one, but hey, I'm going Kings too.
I'm going Kings.
Honestly, I not that it's like irrational now. I actually think that the Kings can win this because they should have won one of the when it was like 120. Yeah,
it was game 2.
It was game 2, but they also should have won like game 5 or some shit. The one that they lost by like 2 points or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it was just extremely close.
I think they were up by 10 at one point in that game 5.
Something like that. Like the reason why I was worried for game 6 was because they had fumbled basically 2 games already that were winnable. So I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to respond, and the Warriors might just win out. Yeah. But the fact that they actually were able to rally back and win this shit and bring it back home gives me extreme confidence in them now to be able to do something game 7.
Yep.
Like actually the pace that they were playing with and like the sense of urgency was so dope to see.
Yeah. And so I'm like, Sabonis fouled out in game 6, and they still pulled away.
Yeah. Yo. Shit, man, it was just like, bro, I wish sometimes I'm like, yo, I wish the Celtics could do this shit. The sense of urgency and like, dude, they just know that their game is predicated on fucking driving to the rim and kicking out. And I'm like, bro, sometimes the Celtics do not realize that is what they need to do. And De'Aaron Fox, obviously being as fast as he is, like he was just pushing the pace every single fucking time.
Dude, off I was like, basket, dude, and he was getting
I love this, man. Like I love it. I wish we could do this shit.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Malik Monk has been huge. I think he was my X factor along with Kevin Huerter, but Malik Monk has surely like he's been doing everything. I saw it was funny. I saw a tweet. It was like he's doing everything that fucking Jordan Poole should be doing. Making shots, making
the man
like
that's facts, bro. That's facts.
Making shots, making like good reads, and playing like decent defense. Like he's actually like engaged on defense, and he's been doing well. And I'm like, bro, he is in that same mold as Jordan Poole, but he's thoroughly outplaying this man this series.
100%.
And it is so underrated how much Monk has like revitalized his career, honestly.
100%.
That's what happens when you go back to play with your college teammate, man.
Yep.
But
college duel might be the meta, bro.
It might be. It might be. Yo, I mean, I can't imagine how fucking lit that game 7 is gonna be in Sac.
Oh my god,
they're gonna be riding with all that momentum. But hey, man, like I gotta go Warriors, bro. I'll be the odd man out here. I'm gonna take Warriors.
No, I can see it. I can see that too, honestly.
Yeah. I think Steph is gonna show out, man. Like he lives for those type of moments. I mean, honestly, it's gonna go either way. He's either gonna show up and go crazy, or he's just not gonna have a good game. But
I do think Curry's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
I think he'll rise to it. But I think, the way the Kings just go about it, I think they're just very like determined in their play style, their system, and all that kind of stuff, and they're gonna be hyped. Like I don't think they're gonna back down from any like waves of Warrior stuff.
For sure.
Because the Warriors obviously have a good they're very good at like making the morale go down for any team where they just go on bursts and then you're like, fuck, man, now they're up 8 type shit. Yeah. Where every time that I've seen them like do that kind of thing against the Kings at least still play the way that they played. It didn't look like they were playing out of their out of the way that they've been playing all year. So that gave me confidence, like I've been saying in the last few games. And like I said, them being at home, I think it'll be more like hyped up for them rather than them getting rattled.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
So
I think to build
it's
on
gonna
that,
be a good ass game.
To build on that, like just watching Game 6 as kind of like a precursor, obviously, where I think there was a point in time in the second quarter where the Warriors kind of responded with like this 7-0, 8-0 run as they always do, where they just fucking back-to-back splash bros threes, right?
Yep.
And then after each of those threes, I saw De'Aaron Fox just like, yo, give me the ball, and then boom, run down, get a layup, attempt, or whether or not he makes it, he's just going. He don't give a fuck.
Bro.
Like he don't give a fuck. Like that dude just going into contact no matter what. Like I really wish JT would take notes.
Oh my god,
like
I'm
please,
saying, bro.
like just, I don't care if there's contact, bro. Whether or not they call it, and they were not calling it for the Kings. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
They were
right?
Yep.
He just fucking relentlessly kept going because eventually you're gonna have to get those calls, but you have to persist. And yo, the Kings, they're my team in the West, man. I'm rooting for them. Like I love that young up and coming team type shit. You know, it's kind of like the CS Rise Celtics, but a little bit more advanced. But either way, like I'm loving the Beam team, and yo, man, I gotta roll with those boys, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I really hope that they win. It is like I said, a bias pick, but I do genuinely think that honestly any game 7 is a toss up because like if you're at that point, it's genuinely just a
do or die.
Yeah. So it's so like it could go either way, but I'm going for the Kings, man. And the fact that it's home it's gonna be great. And the Warriors did win that road game, which was important, but they haven't been consistently good on the road. So
and those old mans keep running with these young boys. And then as far as the other thing, who do you guys think would match up better with the Lakers?
Kings.
Because for me, I think the Lakers. Okay, so me and Nathan were talking about this a little bit before you got on, Kyle. And like, for me, there's two factors to kind of get into here, right? Because like on paper, the Lakers are gonna want the Kings. Like the players, the fans. When you look at it, you're gonna want the Kings because they're inexperienced and all that, right? And the Warriors have the championship pedigree, right? But building off of what we were saying, the way the Kings were playing, where it's just nonstop running. Can the Lakers keep up with that? Can old man LeBron and glass knee AD keep up with the Kings just relentlessly running for 48 minutes? And this is legitimately for 48 minutes. Can they do that?
Yeah.
For 7 games. I think the Lakers obviously have a chance to win the series against the Kings, but I think they might prefer a slow game against a team like the Warriors because like the Warriors can do both. The Warriors can outrun you. The Warriors can fucking out half court play you and just lock it up defensively. But I think for an old team like LeBron, right, or like glass knees like AD, they might want to prefer the Warriors style of play where they can play both. They can play both. Whereas the Kings, they just gotta play the one. I don't know.
I do think they might want the Warriors. I mean, I mean,
that's what I mean.
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean.
I do think they. I think they. I think the Kings might. I think the Kings might be better for them though. Like
that's what I mean.
Kings are better. Yeah.
In my opinion, I think they match up better, or I think they match better compared to both teams.
Yeah.
And for the same reason, to be honest. I mean, I think the pace thing is one thing, but overall, it'll still go back to like front court size for me. As much as like the guard play will be whatever. Not that they don't have like bodies to be able to put onto the guards. I do think De'Aaron and Malik Monk will have would have a field day against like the Lakers defense because they probably only have Austin Reeves and Dennis Schroeder.
Yep.
But I mean, you could say the same thing with Curry on the Warriors.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but on the front court, I do think that regardless, they are going to be like solid because they're Sabonis being a pivotal like key to their offense. AD or Vando are easily going to be able to put a body on Sabonis like that. And yeah, the young inexperienced thing, I think LeBron is good enough to be able to understand how to slow the game down, even with a fast-paced team like that, because he's like LeBron James. So that part doesn't worry me, and I do think that the pace will win the Kings some games.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think the Lakers would win the series over the Kings because of inexperience and because of like star power plus like depth. Like I genuinely think that over like they're better than both of these teams, and I mean that is why like I'm picking them to make that conference finals. But yeah, I don't know. I think the inexperience will show up, man. Like it's already showing up for a Warriors team that has been super lackluster, and Yeah, I think like with this Lakers team, who they actually haven't been lackluster because since like I don't know the beginning of this year or trade deadline, whatever the stat is, they've actually been like they've had like the best record in the league type shit.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is a Lakers team that is like putting it together. It's just a Lakers team who's been riddled with injuries and had late trades and all that kind of stuff. So I do think honestly they might want Sacramento because
the inexperience, exactly.
Yeah, the inexperience and like I was saying with the coaching thing. Hello. No. And like I was saying with the coaching thing, yeah, Steve Kerr can definitely win games and with series as much as he's like a polarizing coach even for Warriors fans. And I don't think Mike Brown is to that extent of coaching. I think he's just a good like, personality to have as a coach, and also like he implements the system, but I haven't been able to see how much like adjustments he's been able to make that have been like super effective rather than just like the Kings like playing very well.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I think they'll want the Kings because of the inexperience.
No, for sure. That's what I think. Yeah. I think the players and the fans want the Kings for the inexperience.
Yeah, but I get the pace thing.
I can see a world where the Kings, in my opinion, would be like, if you push the pace like they did against the Warriors, can the Lakers handle that for 7 games? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll take some, man. But yeah, the Lakers definitely want the Kings, bro.
Yeah.
They might be ducking that Warriors smoke, bro. Because I'm telling you, ain't nobody gonna want to guard Steph Curry, bro.
Oh hell no.
Yeah,
shit.
It would be very nice to see them play the Warriors, though.
Yeah, no,
like that'll be classic
for legacy reasons.
Yeah, I was telling Riz like that. I want Steph Curry.
But the only thing is like, let Curry cook, and what else are they gonna do? Like, I think from 2 to 5, like the Lakers thoroughly like are better than them.
Yeah.
So every other position, I think they can stack up. And I mean, shit, I know you guys hate like me bringing up the Boston shit, but I'm like, when we were letting Curry cook, we were winning. Like
we were.
We let him do his shit, and we didn't let the other team, or we didn't let the other players really do much.
Yeah,
that was our low key win condition. So, the whole like drop coverage, whatever argument that we were having, or like Celtics fans were having, and all that kind of stuff. Yep. I think like letting Curry go crazy is okay because they don't have enough pieces to complement that at this moment.
Yeah, to fall back on that, I know Celtics fans hate the drop coverage shit, and I hate talking about the finals, but like the game changer in that series was the fucking rebounding. Andrew Wiggins was getting every rebound, and Andrew Wiggins stepped up huge.
Right, and Kevon Looney, bro.
Yeah, Kevon Looney. That was
Will Chamberlain out here.
That was the difference here, and I think I don't like drop coverage because it hurts to watch Steph Curry cook.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was working. It was. Yeah. Who you got?
Yeah.
You said they want the Kings. But okay, Kings. But for both of you guys,
I think the Kings win it.
But for both of you guys, who do you think is a better matchup for the Lakers though?
Better matchup.
Who would they want to play?
I think the better matchup is the Kings, honestly.
Kings,
because if you get rid of their second best player in Sabonis, and their offense being like I said, heavily ran through Sabonis, I think AD and Vando can easily like shut down Sabonis, especially because if they're going into a series, they're for sure looking at what Draymond has been doing, and they can replicate what Draymond has been doing. As much as Draymond is like a like generational defender for us, they can easily replicate because of their size and stuff. And Sabonis has shown that he has a lack of versatility in terms of his offense, which sucks, but it's. I think they're gonna want the Kings for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, easy. Because like if you look at it, man, like they have the number on the front court. Like the back court is fine. Like they could take like a disadvantage with Fox and even Monk and Herter on the wings and stuff. But the front court, you got LeBron, freaking Vando, and AD. That three is easily gonna manhandle freaking Harrison Barnes, Murphy, and
Trey Lyles.
Alex Len is probably the next biggest guy or the biggest guy on that team. So
yeah.
Like you got Mo Bamba off the bench. I don't even think he played yet. But
he hasn't. They haven't played him.
Rui, you got all these names.
Yeah, and if Rui keeps playing the way he's playing, I think front court like size and defense and pressure and all that kind of stuff is much more important than guard play. At least in the playoffs. And the only anomaly to that is fucking Steph Curry, because he's Steph Curry. But Steph Curry doesn't even have the supporting pieces around him to, bring them over the top like they have been for the most part. So yeah, like I said, I do think they want the Kings.
Yeah.
But hey, Golden State would be fun too.
I think the NBA wants Golden State just because of the LeBron versus Curry round 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll be a more fun series if it's the Kings Lakers for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think NBA fans will like the Kings better.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think the casuals would like the headline matchup of LeBron versus Curry. Obviously,
yeah, that's gonna put. Obviously, those seats are gonna be sold out regardless. But
that'll be a very watched one. Yep.
But the viewership would go crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah. Yo, I'm really looking forward to Monday. Me and Nate are going to the game. Game 1. Give me a t-shirt, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right. Until next time. Signing off.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.